Hello, 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 everybody. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome back again. Now I can say welcome back because this is the second episode of Toto on Video Podcast. My name is Eric Namai, and with me today, before everything else, this is a podcast done by kids, for kids, to kids, and for everyone in general. Toto on Video Podcast. Today we have a wonderful fellow here. Can you introduce yourself?
How you doing? How you doing, my guys? My name is Brian King. Yes, you put a face to the voice. It's me, the awesome one. How you doing, Eric?
Number two. How you doing?
No, not really. Not really.
No,
but I'm back, yo.
If you are listening to the audio podcast on Spotify, here's number two.
He's King.
And he's back. Brian King. How has your week been like?
My week has been amazing. So I like, before we even continue, I came across this joke and I just like have to share with you guys, you know. So what do you get when you cross an angry cow with an angry sheep? You get two animals in a bad mood.
What? Okay. Funny.
Don't worry, you'll get it. Just give it time.
I get it bad mood. Okay, that's funny. Okay, I have a joke of my own too.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not a joke; it's a riddle.
He's the unfunny one, yeah.
Okay. You walk into a room that contains a match, a kerosene lamp, and a candle, and a fireplace. What do you light first?
You walk into a room that contains a lamp,
A match, a fireplace, and a candle. What do you light first?
You light the fire to light the match. You light the match. Oh wait. You like the match to then light the fireplace, then light the lamp.
Okay, I think my riddles are too easy for you guys. How did you get that? Like, you light the match. You're supposed to say you light the candle.
This dude is sad. I told you he was the unfunny one.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, that was your fun segment if you didn't know. And for today, we're going to be talking about the East Festival.
Ooh, the East Festival 2022, man.
The East Festival 2022. And to people like me and you, maybe you didn't know what the East Festival is. I didn't know it until today.
He said.
Brian himself got a chance to be on the East Festival, and he's going to be explaining us his experience in the East Festival 2022 and who he got to meet. The person you got to meet is amazing. Anyway, East Festival 2022. Get your pens and your books out. We're taking notes.
Yeah.
So, Brian.
Take some notes, my guys. So, first of all, like the first pointer, my guys, the East Festival 22 was in Uganda, Kampala, my guys. I go to travel.
Guys, you went to Uganda with Omar and left me here.
No, leave Omar alone. Omar lost his gangster points, by the way, in the trip. He lost like a lot. He was asking for PJs. Anyway, the East Festival was in Uganda, Kampala. We met. It was like the East Festival is basically a festival where media people get to connect together to like meet and share ideas. The topic was decolonizing the media. To you, watoto, I know it is Toto on podcast. Decolonizing means basically, so unajua, the Wazungus came and beat our grandpas and your grandpas.
Which is sad.
And yeah, so decolonizing the media is making sure that stories of Africa, like the African story, is told from an African voice. Si kila time tukiwatch TV to CNN tunaona floods, drought. Like we also have some positive stories in Africa.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was about bringing out those positive stories. That is basically what that was like the major highlight of the East Fest.
Okay.
But then again, we go on to the food. I'm a foodie, my guys. The food. We ate something called ngonja.
What?
It is
Ngonja.
It is plantain, basically, for the fancy ones. The kids of ketchup, it is plantain. And to the rest of us, ni matoke, but instead it is roasted. It was nice, my guys.
You know, I'm still surprised there's an English word for matoke. I didn't know they existed.
I keep telling you guys, he's sad.
No, I didn't know it existed.
He's very sad.
East Festival 2022, Uganda.
Uganda,
Okay.
Kampala.
Now, let's start with your experience there. Like, okay, what were you discussing there before everything else?
Oh yeah,
on the
of
panel?
course. Before everything else, I and Omar and Collins and our CEO Miss Jennifer went so that we can represent you guys, the children, Mona. Because of course, as we're talking about decolonizing the media and making sure that African stories are told, we also want us children to have a positive story, to have our stories told by us, like what we do here at Mtoto News Insights. So yeah, it was about sharing this idea with the rest of the people. There were some big people there, my guys. I got to meet like a lot of people, and we discussed. We had a very nice presentation. By the way, check it out on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram. Just follow at mtotonews.com. You'll get to like see everything we did there. So yeah, the main thing that we did there was to basically introduce the concept of child-led media.
Child-led media. And I understand you mentioned that you met some big people.
Yeah.
One of the big people these guys met is a huge media personality, Larry
my guy.
Madoa.
Larry
This
Madoa.
guy met Larry Madoa.
And he's nice, my guys. Like his accent is just the dude is nice. He's awesome. Just follow me at Brian King or Brian K _ official on Twitter and see my guy. He actually bigged me up and Omar. So yeah. We got to meet him, and he was actually very excited about what we do here. The Toton podcast is actually listening to Toton podcast, to our Toton News Insights, and it's not just him. We met a lot of people. We met like Edith from BBC. There were a lot of people there, basically. Yeah.
Anderson Park. You know the one.
And
from the
that's
meme?
I know him. Like who doesn't know Anderson Park? But no, he wasn't there.
Anyway, by the way, what was your experience like? You as a media personality yourself and as a child, what did you get from all of that? I mean, it's a huge festival based on media personality and media engagements.
Yeah, it was actually quite eye-opening. I mean, as a child, we are used to just going in the field, doing interviews, but it was actually quite an eye-opening experience, getting to meet people who have actually made it in the journalism sector. I learned that in a story, you have to really connect with the person you're interviewing. It's not just about going and asking questions. Someone actually said the better you know a person, the better you know the story, and as a journalist, the story is the most important part, right? So I learned that it is important to deeply connect with the audience. So I'm ready to deeply connect with you guys.
Okay, and you as a child journalist, trained under Mtoto News, right? And the South East training, right? How was it for you at the first time you heard that people, or rather children under 18, obviously, were being trained for journalism? Well, like, as a journalist, you have to continue to university and then finish and get a degree. But you got to learn to be a journalist at a young age.
Nice. So we are going back to Brian King. The first time I heard it, I was actually like, it's a joke. Omar is the one who told me. Omar Ahmed, 83, big up. He's the one who actually told me about Mtoto News. And we were in school, in a physics lesson, just like making stories. And he was like, you can actually be trained as a journalist. And I was like, bro, are you kidding? You're a liar. So, and then I came to Mtoto News, and I was actually shocked. You were trained on how to get a story, how to write a story, how to conduct an interview, how to even handle the cameras. Like sometimes you guys, I'm the one behind the cameras. So it was actually surprising, and not just to us. Like back to the East Festival, like Omar was the first one who went on stage, and he was like, I'm a child trained journalist. The dudes were like, mind blown.
Whoa. Okay, which reminds me, there's not a lot of organizations or rather media companies that train.
I actually think we are the first one.
I also think that we are the only child-led podcast. I mean, I have not seen a podcast where children get to speak.
Yeah, I think by the way, Mtoto News is the first that actually trains children. And the good thing is that it's open to every child, by the way. All you have to do is like reach out to Mtoto News via the website and you'll get trained as journalists. So in the East Fest, we actually got to show them our skills. We actually impressed those guys. They were like BBC, CNN, like those big stations, national, like Uganda television networks. And they were shocked. They were shocked that young children as me, Omar, and even others were actually able to, speak out there and actually share our skills as journalists. So yeah, it was a nice experience. We learned a lot, and we also taught those guys a lot.
Now, thank you for that. But what is the importance of East Festival right now?
I think this was actually the first edition of East African of the East Fest 2022, and it's about bringing back African journalists. Like we have a lot of, I don't remember the specific term, but a lot of journalists tend to go abroad. So it's about bringing them back to recenter the African stories, man. Like telling our stories. As children, we bring them out, man. When we do great things, we bring out the stories. When Africans, great things happen in Africa, we bring out the stories. Also, sometimes, when there's politics and it's is it body shaming Africa? When they're body shaming Africa, it's about basically connecting with all the African journalists out there and remembering to recenter the African stories. That's what I got there, basically.
And I know I should have asked you this question the first time, but I forgot. But what's a journalist?
Oh,
Who's
yeah.
a journalist?
Good, nice. Thank you. That's actually quite a nice.
Yeah, it should be the first question.
You know, a journalist, from my perspective, a journalist is a storyteller. A journalist is someone who brings out events through stories. A journalist is a person who holds the government accountable for things they had promised. A journalist is someone who, a journalist and a judge are actually quite the same thing, you see. We weigh the truth, we bring out the truth, and we also we see what is true, what is false, and bring it out there. So for me, a journalist is a storyteller.
Now, so we've done with the official part.
Yeah.
Let's get to the food part. And the experiences in Uganda itself.
So let's start with the breakfast. Like the first day, it was a buffet, and there was a lot of bacon. You know, Omar doesn't eat bacon. He's Muslim, and he was so mad. He was so mad because I was just like topping up. But he did make up for it. This dude ate those cakes.
Cupcakes.
No, what are they called? The French cakes. Croissants. Yeah. The dude ate like 10,000. My guy ate until those guys were like, bro, you gotta chill. You gotta chill, man. And then we go to the sausages, the beef sausages. He was making up because he could not eat the pork ones. My guy, tungempata like the whole dish. The dude ate. He went for coffee, chocolate, and juice.
What?
And tea. But yeah, it is amazing. I'm going back to Gonja. Man, the plantain is amazing. You guys, I will put it in our Shajara magazine. I don't know if you guys have checked out. Check out our Shajara magazine. It will be in the food review. Gonja is plantain. It's amazing. It's like matoke except it's sweet. My guys.
So, okay.
And Rolex.
Okay, do you mean that Kenyan matoke is not...
Personally, I'm not a fan of Kenyan matoke. I'm not. I hate matoke, but plantain is amazing. It's amazing.
Okay.
And something else called Rolex. Rolex is like, what is that thing called? Bread. No. It's like an omelette rolled into a chapo. So yeah, that was your food segment, my guys. Amazing. Fantastic.
Okay, what did you get to learn about their culture, their way of living?
Aki, they have the Ugandan dance is simply amazing, man. Their culture is everyone is just so humble and so nice. Like everyone is just so nice. Not like here you can ask someone for direction and be like, bro. Like you say,
there's a difference between Kenya and Uganda, basically.
Yeah, everyone is just so nice. Their dance is amazing. And also, fun fact, most of us have learnt about Eid Dada. Is it Eid Dada?
Eid al-Adha.
Yes, that's the guy who we deem as cherry ball in Kenya. In history.
Wait. I thought you were saying Eid, the Muslim festival. No,
no.
Idi Amin.
Idi Amin Dada. Like, we consider him a dictator and how terrible he was. Fun fact, some Ugandans actually say he was a good person. They don't think he was a bad person. Another fun fact, you guys learned about the Kabaka in history. If you haven't, you're going to learn. The Kabaka, who was like the king of the Buganda kingdom. He's still there. And like they still respect him like a lot, man.
I know Buganda
is not him, as in they have a new Kabaka. And like they still respect the position of Kabaka. Not like us, we forgot.
Wait, there's a president and a Kabaka at the same time.
The president and the Kabaka has his own palace. The president is like, as in he's still respected.
So who's more powerful than the other?
Well, the president, of course, constitutionally, but in like their roots, in their like social norms.
So like they still embrace.
Like if the Kabaka was to travel somewhere, all the roads would be closed for him to pass. Like if he comes into a ceremony, everyone will stand for him. Like he gets all the respect a president gets, basically.
Whoa.
So yeah.
Okay, that's a beautiful culture. They got to keep their culture. I'm not saying in Kenya we don't keep our culture. We do keep our culture. But that's all we have from Brian. East Festival. There's going to be another one next year, right?
Yeah, there'll be another one. Come join us.
Yeah. And you also remember that nothing is limited to you as long as you're doing good. You can be a journalist under 18. Just join Total News. Yeah, you can find us at totalnews.com, right?
Yeah, www.mtotonews.com. That's a beautiful website, my guy.
Yes, and if you want to join Total News,
reach out. At Twitter at Collins Orono, KE. At Instagram, it is Collins Orono. That's like our head of trading. He will like just, or you can go to our website and just like click on contact us. they'll get to you.
And then you can also find this podcast, well, on YouTube. Obviously, it's a video podcast. We also have another podcast on Spotify. It's
The Toto on Podcast
Toto
Sound
on
Edition.
Podcast Sound Edition, Video Edition. That's all we have for you. Goodbye, folks.
Bye-bye.